Hey guys, how are we doing? I'm David Mathis. Thank you for coming back to my channel, checking out my videos. All the support has been great. Thank you guys so much for helping grow this channel and helping share my content, getting it out there for people. Try to put out as much free content for you guys as possible to help try to answer your guys' questions. For those of you guys that don't know me and you're new to my channel, my name's David Mathis. I am a Army combat medic veteran. I hold a master's in exercise science, and I am a strength and physique coach. Today, what I want to talk about is kind of very relevant to our times right now. So if you are watching this later on in the future, this might not necessarily apply to you right now, but I think a lot of people that are going through this COVID-19, this coronavirus mess, for lack of a better word, that we are in right now, can really benefit from this video. And if you are watching this in the future and you find yourself not able to go to a gym regularly, this can also help you. What we're going to talk about today is kind of how to structure or restructure your diet, your training during this time when you might not have access to the gym. You might not even have access to your normal foods that you're used to eating, okay? I want to first preface this by saying people's health is very important. It's of the utmost importance. Gyms closing right now, things shutting down is a drain on our life. It's a drain on our routine. But we have to understand that this is also going to be a short-lived period in relevance to the bigger picture, right? You are not going to lose as much of your gains as you think you possibly will by following some of these guidelines that I'm going to talk to you guys about, okay? Let me just start with a quick story. I was out for a little over 4 months with an upper body injury, still kind of dealing with it, but coming back, and could do no upper body exercise, okay? I did not lose hardly anything. Did I go flat a little bit, lose some water, some glycogen? Yes. But as far as muscle size, didn't lose much. And the reason is because once you have that muscle, it's very difficult to actually lose it. Like, you have to actively try to lose it, be in a huge calorie deficit, just not doing any weight training at all to preserve some of that muscle mass, do lots of cardio to burn it off, things like that. So I want you to stop worrying about losing all your gains, okay? Now, for a lot of you guys that are used to the gym right now, are you going to be making a lot of gains during this time? Probably not, but that's okay, all right? Because this can actually be a blessing in disguise. You can actually get back to doing some of the roots with body weight exercises, banded exercises, and start working on some of these imbalances and weaknesses that maybe you have and that get overlooked when you're lifting weights in the gym. Doing some unilateral work with light dumbbells, your own body weight, some bands, can be a really eye-opening experience and expose a lot of weaknesses. So use this time to work on mobility, cardio, flexibility, and bringing up some of those weaknesses and stuff. Because a lot of it is just the coordination pattern, okay? It's getting back into learning how to activate the muscles instead of just using brute force, your joints, your ligaments, all that stuff to move the weight. Actually learn how to properly engage your muscle, which is really a big benefit of bands and your body weight in general. So let's start with diet though, okay? Let's start with structuring diet. Now, if you're someone that's in a fat loss phase right now, this really isn't going to affect you much, okay? Now, what you're gonna wanna look out for is you're gonna wanna be even more precise with your macros. Really no wiggle room here. Which really, if you're in a contest prep or a fat loss, there isn't much wiggle room anyways. But you are definitely going to need to take advantage of a little bit more cardio. But if you don't have bands, resistance bands, if you don't have any dumbbells at home, you're going to need to be doing some body weight resistance stuff. Push-ups, pull-ups, body weight squats, lunges, planks, things like that, to help stimulate your muscle, to help it stick around a little bit, okay? Because so part of the reason why lifting weights is so important and resistance training is so important in a fat loss phase in general is because we want to try to preserve as much lean body mass as we can. And we do that by keeping protein high, by dieting slow, and by resistance training, okay? So resistance training does not mean you have to train with weights. Resistance training means you just provide resistance to your body, to your muscles. Your muscle doesn't know if you're lifting a dumbbell, a barbell, or a really, really strong tensioned resistance band, okay? It just knows that tension. So you can still keep that up during this time, okay? Um, if you're someone that is trying to put on muscle, okay, maybe you are in a large surplus, well, your activity level is going to be coming down, all right, because just from that natural lack of resistance that we can't provide at our home, we can only provide at the gym with that really, really progressive overload. Naturally, our energy output is going to come down. That doesn't mean that we still can't maintain what we're doing the same things with the body weight exercises, the resistance bands, changing up tempo, doing more pause stuff, doing higher rep things. Is when it comes to building muscle, different rep ranges are all found to help stimulate hypertrophy when taken close to or at failure, okay? And that means like technique failure, okay? Before your form starts breaking down. So you can still retain your muscle, you can still hold on to all that hard work. And like I mentioned before, you can actually work on some weaknesses so that when you get back to the gym, you are going to be in a better position to maybe activate your muscles a little bit more, to get a little bit more energy, a little bit more force production out of it, lift more weight, build more muscle tissue. And just overall, your movement patterns are going to be more efficient. Okay, so use this time to really just hone in on those weaknesses. You'll get exposed a lot when you start doing a lot of unilateral body weight stuff. You use some resistance bands, maybe you do have some light dumbbells. You'll see where some weaknesses may be exposed, because we all have them. I'm finding some on a daily basis myself. But from a calorie standpoint, you're going to probably want to bring that surplus down to either maintenance or just slightly above maintenance, okay? Because you still are going to be putting out a lot of energy, right? You are going to still be working out your body. You need to be focusing, you need to be doing cardio during this time, not just for heart health, but for extra energy expenditure, helping those nutrients partition in your body a little bit better, and for mental health, okay? Keep yourself active, work on stretching, work on mobility work. All of this is going to translate back to the gym when you get back in there. And it's a very short-lived time, guys. Although we do not know what the timeline is when gyms are going to be closed, or how long they're going to be closed for, in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be a very short-term thing. So just don't get caught up in your head too much and think, 1 week out of the gym, you're going to lose everything. 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. It takes a lot longer than that, okay? Now, if you start going flat, that doesn't mean you're losing muscle, okay? That just means you're probably losing some water and a little bit of glycogen. So that's why it's really important to make sure that you're keeping your protein right around the, just for easy terms, 1 gram per pound of body weight. Research shows anywhere from about 1.6 to about 2.8 grams per kilogram of body weight is adequate for helping retain muscle and building new muscle tissue. Anything above that is really kind of just negating other calories from carbs and fats you could be taking in. It really doesn't have that much of a greater effect. So you can really push that equates to about 1 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight for protein. So you want to make sure you're keeping that up. You're probably going to want to bring your overall calories down so that you're not gaining too much extra unwanted body fat, okay? We all know that in a surplus, when you're bulking, there is going to be body fat accumulation, but we need to try to match our nutrition to our energy output, okay? Does not mean that the bands aren't still going to stimulate a lot of activity, a lot of resistance, breakdown, muscle tissue, but it's just not going to be quite as much as it would be if you're in there doing a 400-pound deadlift, right? Or you're doing 350 squats for 10 or 12. You're doing all this little like higher weight, higher rep hypertrophy work. But don't let the notion of not being perfect stand in the way of you doing something, okay? You need to make sure you're focusing on these other aspects. And to be honest, this might be a really good time for you to step away from the gym for a little bit. Maybe we're giving your joints and your ligaments a little bit of a break. I know I'm feeling that and I'm benefiting from it. And I'm actually finding that I'm having some really, really great lower body workouts, some great upper body workouts, because I'm having fun. I'm challenging myself. I'm finding different ways with different rep schemes, rep tempos. supersetting combinations of different exercises. So have some fun with it. Like I said, in the grand scheme of things, this is going to be very, very short-lived. You may be someone that is very high on nutrient timing. I definitely believe in that. I think that's a great strategy. With that being said, though, if you're just doing resistance band training, body weight stuff, calisthenics, things like that, nutrient timing is not going to be quite as necessary, I guess, for lack of a better term, as it would be if you're really, really pounding away hard, progressively overloading in the gym, day in and day out, really pushing some heavier weight and challenging your body, demanding more from your body on a daily basis. So it's still a good idea. Maybe have a little bit of carbs pre and post workout, things like that. But you could kind of ease up a little bit on the nutrient timing during this little portion. Now, as far as meals go, the number and the quantity, we already know from research that the number of meals per day is not going to matter in weight loss or weight gain. Okay, it's your overall calories, your macros, things like that. However, we do know that from a digestion standpoint, breaking all those meals up into smaller meals, maybe 4 to 5 a day, some people 6, is a really good idea. If you're someone right now that's finding that their energy expenditure is way, way down, you don't really have access to getting outside. Maybe you're in an area where the quarantine is a lot more strict than other areas. Like where I'm at, I can still get outside and walk and do all that stuff. And you know that your energy expenditure is coming down quite a bit, quite drastically, then you might want to look at easing up on your meal frequency. All right, maybe you drop from 5 meals a day to 4, or if you were at 4, maybe you drop down to 3. That's okay. Remember, when we don't have as much energy expenditure, we're not going to have as much breakdown, as much lean body mass breakdown, muscle tissue breakdown, okay? So we can kind of adjust our eating a little bit, and just naturally, our maintenance calories after a little bit of time away from the gym and bring our energy levels, our energy expenditure down, is going to naturally decrease. So say maybe you're at like 3,000 calories was your maintenance. Well, you might find in 3-4 weeks that your new maintenance level might be around 2,800, even if you do still continue with this calisthenics, resistance band training, keep up with your cardio, things like that. It will jump back up quick, okay? When you start adding weights, start adding the iron, start training a little bit harder and harder, your body's going to adapt like that. So just think about this time as an adaptation period, okay? For a lot of us, this is probably going to be a really good few weeks to just make us force our bodies to settle down a little bit, work on some things that we probably wouldn't work on if we were still able to go to the gym on a daily basis. So I don't want you to worry during this time. You might not have access to all the normal foods that you usually eat, but that doesn't mean that you can't still hit your macros and your calorie target. You just might have to practice a little bit more flexible dieting during this time. If you don't have access to chicken breasts, you can do tuna, you can do turkey, you can do some of these things. We just have to equate for the calories and the macros, right? So maybe your portion sizes are a little bit smaller for one. Maybe you have to switch to a little bit fattier of a meat, which means you have to cut fats out from somewhere else in your diet during the day. That's all okay, all right? It's not going to kill you. It's not going to it's not going to break you. At the end of the day, it's going to be you hitting your calorie mark, you getting some activity level in during the day, not just for your physical body, but for your mentality, right? For your mind. It can get very stagnant. It can get very boring. People can start getting very lazy and complacent when stuck in the house all day and not having access to their normal routines. So create a new routine. Create a temporary new routine. Make sure you're still getting up at the same time in the morning as you did before. If it's your time where you scheduled out for the gym, make that your time that you still go out and do cardio or resistance band training or calisthenics. Try to keep your meals at the same times, things like that. Portion sizes might be a little bit different, but that's okay. The more that we can stick into a normal routine during this time, the better it's going to be for our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health. And it's just going to make this whole mess of an experience a little bit easier and a little bit better to tolerate. But point being is, I'm here for you. I want to try to help you guys through this as much as possible. Hopefully my videos on my channel are helping you guys. The content on my Instagram, it's at mathasfitnes. If you guys want to follow me on that, is helping you guys. I am posting a lot of home workouts that I'm doing to try to give you guys some ideas on how to structure yours, or just give you ideas to throw in that you might not have thought of. Okay, have fun with this. Make the best of it. It's a horrible situation. People are getting very sick. There's a lot of people's lives that are being disrupted because of closings and lockdowns, things like that. But we have the choice. We have the choice every single day to get up, focus on what we can focus on, which is our nutrition, our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health. And anything I can do for you guys, please reach out. I am taking on clients right now to help you guys through this time and beyond. You can reach me at david@bioline.com. You can visit my website, www.coachdavidmathas.com. Everybody always spells my last name wrong, but that's okay. And any suggestions for videos, please leave them in the comment section below. Let me know what you're doing right now during this time. How are you taking care of your nutrition, your physical health, your mental health during this time? Don't fall off the wagon. There's no need to fall off the wagon, all right? But you have to make the choice that it's going to be a priority in your life to stay on track, all right? Have a great day. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll be catching you soon.